The second edition of the Rainmaker RollerCoaster gravel race took place over the back roads and farm tracks around the Klein Karoo and Western Cape recently. Some 35 riders from all over South Africa and many international destinations gathered in Swellendam for the start of the 7-day journey that would see them cover 500 kilometers with a finish in Plettenburg Bay. The event was organised by Hotchillee, the group behind the renowned London, Paris and Cape Roulier races. Stage 1 was a short, sharp 30-kilometre leg loosener through the citrus orchards in the Buffelsjagts River Valley. Bongo Nkobani and Julian Hardy went out hard. Sipe Kapai and Nick Cook of the Kwano Academy also held nothing back. The route took them through a small game farm in an area called Kwetu, and they were soon sharing the wide open spaces with Bontebok, giraffe, impala and wildebeest. What a welcome to South Africa for the big contingent of international riders. They've made several changes to the route from the 2018 event to give riders the best possible gravel biking experience around the Western Cape. Nkapai and Cook were the only team to dip under an hour for the ride. Their 56 minutes and 44 seconds was just under 4 minutes faster than Ayise Fulu and Ona Dolofine. After a good night's rest, they prepared for the second stage, an out and back ride of 103 kilometers from Swellendam. Although it is a gravel race, that did not mean riders could not take on the event on a mountain bike. The daily routes did venture off the wide open gravel roads and snuck through orchards and farms, but there was no hectic technical single track riding that might make suspension an absolute necessity. The gravel bikes used by the majority of the field cope more than comfortably with the terrain. The Buffelsjagts River Dam is a hidden gem in the shadow of the Langeberg Mountains and the massive pine forests on the slopes. Fulu and Dolfine took time back on Nkapai and Cook in winning the stage, which was split into 2 timed sections. Stage 3 was the first of the transition stages, as they covered 97 kilometres and 1,635 metres of climbing en route to Riversdale. Long forgotten dirt roads led them past a number of quaint old settlements, perhaps no longer inhabited. The top 2 teams were keeping a close eye on one another as they took on the steep mountain roads. Sipe Kapai from Kwano Cycling Academy in Plettenburg Bay was just one of a number of riders taking part from a number of South Africa's top cycling academies. The back-breaking climbs were often followed by super fast sweeping descents down to the bottom of the valley. The stage ended at Langenhoven High School in Riversdale, and again Cook and Nkapai were the dominant pair to strengthen their hold on the overall lead. Julian Hardy from the UK and Bongo Nkobani were 4th on the day. Stage 4 dawned clear and fresh. The full field was given a rousing send-off by the learners from the school before they went off to class. The riders were soon getting used to the silence and beauty of the wide open spaces of the Overberg region of the Western Cape as they headed over the mountains and into the Klein Karoo. Their destination was Karlitstorp, 110 kilometers away. The Rooiberg Pass took care of much of the ascending and descending before they enjoyed a police escort en route into Karlitstorp, where Fulu and Dolfine took the stage win in 4 hours and 41 minutes. For the 7 stages under the belt, they were rewarded with a flat 53-kilometre ride to nearby Oudtshoorn. The field was a mix of those looking for a seriously chilled adventure on a bike with all the bells and whistles, and those looking to go as fast as they possibly could. Nick Cook and Sipe Kapai belonged to the latter category and duly won their 3rd stage. For many of the international riders, the Rainmaker RollerCoaster was a truly exceptional African experience.
So I think the riding here is absolutely incredible. I've ridden all over the world. I was lucky enough to do the Pioneer in New Zealand. I've recently done an event in Girona for a couple of days. I've ridden a lot of other countries, and actually I think the terrain here for gravel is definitely some of the best in the world, and it's one of the things that just keeps drawing me back time and time again.
There's no question that the rapid growth and popularity of gravel riding has spawned new events all over South Africa, but few offer 7 days of such variety of terrain and topography. Ollie Greatbatch from the United Kingdom had donned his best Hawaiian kit. Sadly though, he was a little off the mark as the weather turned cool and much needed rain fell in the desperately dry Klein Karoo. All part of what makes multi-day stage racing so challenging and yet so enjoyable. Needless to say, the bikes needed a good wash at the finish, which was at the stunning Chandelier Game and Ostrich Show Farm. Day 6 saw the longest stage of the race, 113 kilometres to Uniondale. Joining for the ride was South Africa's leading women's World Tour rider and multiple national road race champion Ashley Moorman-Passio, who rides for CCC Live.
I've recently started adding gravel riding to my training. It's really a great way of getting a little bit of variety. So, you know, in Europe, of course, it's also very popular, the gravel at the moment, because all of a sudden you can add new roads that you've never done before, and you're creating new loops because, you know, now you can mix the road and the gravel in one ride. And I think it's also really great, for example, for me for training because, you know, it's a little bit tougher than being on the road. So you're kind of on the pedal all the time, a little bit like mountain biking, but you're still sort of simulating the position on the road. Today was a really beautiful ride. We started in Oudtshoorn, direction Uniondale, and immediately we pretty much started just kind of gradually going up and up and up all day long. And it was actually a really tough day because you kept having this little rise and you'd power up over it and think, okay, when I get to the top, it's going to go downhill, and then to your surprise, it's just a little downhill and it goes up again. So yeah, but it was really beautiful scenery, just great being out on the gravel roads of South Africa, riding past some farms, farm workers, ostriches running alongside us. So yeah, it was a really great day today.
And Ashley was in good shape and took it to the leading riders. She recently finished 8th at the UCI Road World Championships in Yorkshire. Riders checked in at Uniondale, and then it was bright time. The final stage was a 90-kilometre ride that took them over the Prince Alfred's Pass, one of the most stunning passes in the country, to KwaNokuthula near Plettenburg Bay, where the riders helped in handing over Quebecer Buffalo bikes to young children.
Working with Quebecer, seeing what they do for the kids is really incredible, giving kids bicycles to sort of commute to school, and now with the Buffalo Foundation, Hotchillee, that have raised about 150 Quebecer bicycles. I mean, that's really special, you know, getting bikes to kids. And whenever I see those kids getting bicycles, I mean, you should see the smiles on their face. You know, it's priceless.
And the excited youngsters then rode the last 5 kilometres with the Rainmaker RollerCoaster riders.
Ashley was riding, and she lit it up from the front. And we hung on for a little while, but once the real climbs kicked in, that's not my terrain, and went a bit into survival mode, just damage limitation, and I think we've done enough. I haven't quite checked the timings yet.
Nick and Sipe of Team Kwano had done enough to win ahead of Fulu and Dolphine, ending a truly memorable event.